Hi, I'm Elaine. I'm going to show you how to do HTML and CSS navigation bars. It's going to look a little bit like this, where you can hover over the area and it changes colour. To get started, I've just made a basic HTML page like this using 2 bullet lists. This one will become the horizontal navigation, this will be the vertical navigation. I'm going to start with the horizontal navigation, which is going to be this one here. So I'm going to start with this one. The code for that, I've already made a start with the HTML as shown. Each of the list items here in the unordered list contain an anchor which takes you to another part of the web page. Puzzles, for example, takes you to this area at the bottom of the web page, identified by puzzles. So there are 3 list items in my horizontal navigation. Each list item needs to have a black border and white text by default, but when you hover over it, it needs to reverse the colour. So I'm going to start by working on what surrounds the navigation, just to give you some examples of that using Horis, or you could use UL, but because I have 2 different unordered lists, I'm going to differentiate between them using Horis. So I'm going to go to my style sheet, which is style.1 here, and type in Horis, which is the unordered list. Put a comment in there just so that I can differentiate. Now I often put borders in just so that I can easily see what's going on. I'm going to put this in the center of the browser's window at something like 50% of the window, and I'm going to set the margins to automatic to place it in the center. That way you will see my navigation move into the center. So let me just show you that in my current example. So you can now see that it's in the center, 50% of the window in total. And I'm going to text align center, put everything in the center. So now you will see that's in the center. The next thing I'm going to do is display these as inline links. So I need to identify them using again my horizontal, and for each list item I want each list item to not be displayed block, which is the default, but to display inline. So you'll see now a change in that. And then what I want to do is take away the underline, the text decoration. So I can hopefully do that as well. Decoration, there it is. And just say I don't want any text decoration, I don't want any underline, etc. Okay, now what you'll see is that there actually isn't any anyway. So because this is applied to the link, so what I need to do is place this inside the link for the anchor. So let me just show you that. I just wanted to show you it not working. So you couldn't style up the list item to get rid of the underline, you have to style the link itself. So I'm going to go back and put that in, and I want that for all my links actually. And what you can do is choose the selector, which is A, and then a pseudo-class, which is the link itself, just a standard status of link, and make sure that that is, in fact, Control-X that and place that in here. So now you should see the difference when I refresh on all links on the page. All right, and so if I just wanted to apply that to Horis, only those links, it will now keep those the same because I've been specific. So I am going to keep that one for all of them. Now the other pseudo classes that you have for a link, the other possible statuses, you have the active link, the visited link, and when you hover over the link. I don't need to keep putting text decoration on there, although you can, if you wish to, have a text decoration of underline when it's active maybe. You can swap and change, and in this case I will change the colour when it has been visited. Keep that, sorry, to what it is. I'll leave that for now. I will change the colour when you hover over it to purple, and I will change the colour when you hover for links by default to black. So again, the links, because they've been visited, are set to the default browser colour. So what I need to do is to make sure they're not using the browser's colours, just to show you. So I'll only ever see them as black when I first go to the web page. So now you can see they're black, and that I had to be very specific and place that in for all possible statuses, so styling up all the different pseudo classes. And there we are. So now what I'm going to do is each list item needs to have a black background. So I'm going to do that. Background colour black and foreground colour to be white. Again, that will affect the links, so that will be a problem because the links will still be, they will be black. So I need to change those now to white, because I don't want them to be black because they clash with the background. So they're now changed, other than the hover style, so which is now as shown is purple. And at the same time I could change the background colour to white and change this to black, and that will give you the reverse effect. Refresh, and then I could also put a border around this so it reverses it. So yeah, black border around that as well. So now I have styled, I didn't mean to put it in there actually. Oh yes I did, that's fine. So when you hover, it's only doing that to the link though, that's the problem, which is fine in this example. I will get rid of the border here. I could put just border bottom if I wanted to. Okay, so here we have it. That's like what I showed you before. And now I'm going to do the vertical, which I've almost done because I've already styled the links. So what I'm going to do with those is display those as block. So I'm going to take my horizontal styles and do a similar thing with those. Call them vert, because that's the name in my web page here for my other block, and same here. Make sure that's displayed block, which is paragraph style, and I want to text align the whole block to left and put a margin on the left to move it away because it's a paragraph, something like -2 EM. You can have a look at that in a moment, and make the width only 10% with a border for now. So that will remove the dot at the same time, and obviously that's not wide enough, so I need to have that 20% or 15%, something more reasonable. I don't want the underline, but as you can see it's placed a border in there. You need to experiment with this to get that margin away because it's a block text, it's indented it automatically. So that's right, but now as you can see the hover on this case is on the links, which is all well and good. So what I now need to do is to make the vertical links a little different. So this one will have to apply to horis. In fact, I'll copy and paste those first. So I just want that to apply to the horizontal, and then I need to do something different with the vertical. So that's all back to default again, but that's still working as shown. Go back, so that's all okay. Now I need to copy these, but instead of applying them to the link, I'm going to apply these to the list item itself, which you can do. Let's leave that for now. You can actually hover over the list item. I meant vert, didn't I? Here we go. Let me put that back in properly. Otherwise I'm going to end up with clashes in a moment. So let's see what, I'll still have the link text incorrect. That's the only problem. That'll still be the default colour scheme. But you can see now that when you hover over the list item, it does actually change the background colour as required, which is quite nice. And then I just need to make sure that my links are all restyled to suit for the vertical area. So copy that, and I should have chosen the visited one. Let's have a look what we get now. So when you hover over, it changes the colour to black, and it's changed that because I have changed this here, changed the hypertext reference link. So you have to be careful to make sure it all works as you require it. So now obviously my text in my ordinary area needs to be changed, so I need to go and get those. See, there's a lot of repetition here. You could join these up so you can style two things at once, but I'm just showing you one at a time in this respect. Call those vert. So these are for the links. So what I was showing you is that you need to style the whole list item for it to achieve the hover as you go over the list item. And then what I'm going to do is take the border away from my link here when you hover. So I don't want two borders. I don't want that border to show up on the link text. So that's only dealing with the link text, whereas that's dealing with the whole of the list item. Okay, and so what I will now do is underneath my list item, for my vertical list item, is place a margin at the bottom just to move it away from 0.5, half of a letter M size. I don't want it to be too big. That'll just move them away from each other, and I don't really want that border at the bottom, but I'll sort that out in a moment. There it is. Get rid of that. And so we should have our horizontal and vertical links with hover. So thank you for watching, and good luck experimenting with that.